Hey, what is up guys? GuitarRock here, welcome back to another SINoALICE video. Alright, so this is a continuation of my previous video where I do a beginner's guide to upgrading your gears and equipments. So please go watch that video first if you haven't already, because some of the information there will be carried over right here. So you might be confused if you haven't watched that video yet. Alright, so let's jump straight into it. Okay, so first things first, to upgrade the class, it gets very confusing, right? This is where a lot of players don't really know how the classes interact with each other. Even I myself am still unsure of certain things. So let's jump into it. So there's two things. So one is upgrade, one is limit break. So there's no evolution for class. Okay, so quite straightforward. So to upgrade the class, you can just come into here. Alright, so they will use mastery points, which will be shared across several of your classes. So one question that I get asked a lot is, should you work on one class, alright, an individual class, and maybe get it up to level 10, or should you spread it out across multiple different classes? Alright, in my opinion, I think it's better to spread it out across multiple different classes, and here's why. So when you upgrade a class, you will be getting each of these benefits each level, right? So right now I'm at level 7 for my Snow White Breaker class. So if I were to upgrade one more time, boom, I upgrade to level 8, I will unlock a thing called Physical Defense plus 50. Okay, so these are stats that can be used amongst your entire account. Everyone that you own, every single character, every single class will be able to benefit from all of these common stats boosts, alright? So stats boosts are very important. If you look carefully, alright, there's one thing called class, there's one more thing called class, and then there's this common. Alright, everything that is common will be shared across all the character, all the classes. It doesn't matter what class they are, they will get the bonus right here. Alright, so this one, you see, it gives physical attack plus 50, physical defense plus 50. Alright, so everyone right here will get that. So which is what I've been doing. You can see in my account, I've been trying to spread out as many classes as I can to power them up almost equally. So level 4 is what I'm aiming for, because at level 4 you get these two bonus, and then of course you do get more later on, but I'm working on getting everyone to at least level 4 for the time being. Alright, so that's my objective. So if you go higher, some classes like the cleric for example, alright, which is they give insane stats. Alright, so some classes give less, some classes give more. For example, this is a cleric for Snow White. It's not similar across all the board based on what I've seen. So Snow White cleric, alright, at level 3 she gets magic defense plus 50, level 4 she gets physical defense plus 50, right? But if you go and look at Alice cleric, alright, at level 3 hers is magical defense plus 100, and then level 4 is physical defense plus 100. So you need to keep that in mind. Alright, not all classes are created equally, but some classes seems to have slightly bigger bonuses and benefits compared to others. So again, let's compare these two clerics again. Like you see, for the class specific one, this one I get stuff plus 10%, right? While for the Alice, even though it's a cleric as well, this one she gets plus 30%. I don't know why they give so much favoritism to Alice, but hey, whatever. So do keep that in mind. If you are trying to using a class specifically, this might be something that you need to take note of. Alright, so now let's talk about those that are specifically for the class. Alright, notice there's two things right here. There's only common and class. Alright, so class means that this particular class for Alice cleric will get the boost. Alright, okay, so when you go to gear specifically, you notice there's all these points here. There's a misconception going on that increasing your class does not count towards these points right here. Alright, a lot of players have said that this is only towards the weapon, which is not true at all. If you upgrade your class, it will count towards the points right here. Alright, because only for the common section, alright, only for the common classes, everything will be calculated right here. And I will prove it to you guys. Alright, for example, 25870. This is for Snow White Breaker class. 25870, right? I will upgrade one, which is not a Breaker class Snow White. I will upgrade some random class. You can see after this the number will change. I will do this, I will upgrade hers. 25870. If I do this, level 4, add 50, that number will add 50. It will become 25920. Alright, if you don't believe me, upgrade, boom, level up. So now I get physical defense plus 50. So it will become, as opposed to 25870 just now, 25920. Alright, it does add to these points right here, but only for the common points, just to clarify that. Okay, so before we divert off the topic too much, let's talk about the class specific ones. So the question was, let's say if I upgrade Princess Kaguya Sorcerer, alright, Tomb plus 10%, does this 10% carries over to other sorcerer classes? Does it carries over to her, Sleeping Beauty Sorcerer? Does she gets additional 10% on top of her 10%, right? I'm not 100% sure on this, but I would say yes, because based on what I've read so far. So if you go right here into the section for the classes, where they did mention briefly, alright, this is literally in the game menu itself, alright, you can have a read here. So you can acquire skills that help you master the different classes. Skills can be either common or class specific. There's only two types of skills, common or class specific. Notice they say class specific, not character specific. So for common skills, these skills can be used regardless of class. They include HP recover skills and so on. So those things are the common skills that I showed you guys earlier. Physical defense, magical attack, those things. And then there are class specific skills, alright. These skills can only be used by specific classes, alright. They include skills that boost weapon effects in certain areas, which is like sword plus 10%, hammer plus 10%, etc. So notice they worded it in a way that it mentions these skills can only be used by specific classes. Alright, it makes sense to assume that different classes can share the same stats. If it can't, they would have worded it in a way that they say these skills can only be used by each individual character's classes, as opposed to specific classes, which is specified as overall. For example, sorcerer, right? So every single sorcerer class will be able to share that thing. So yeah, unfortunately, I can't confirm it yet. As of the time of me recording this video, I've been trying to research and trying to find out, but so far, based on my understanding, asking a couple of different JP players, I literally get a different answer every time I ask them. Some say yes, some say no, they don't carry over, they only specifically to that class. Alright, so if you guys know, please let me know in the comments below. This is something that I think will actually benefit the community, because like this Blade 10%, will it be able to carry over to Alice Breaker, for example, to get another bonus 10%? So based on the description that I showed you, alright, it seems like the answer is yes, because it says class specific. But then again, it could be like translation error, maybe just a mistranslation because of the wordings used in JP, and when they translated to English, it just sounded different. Okay, notice now, when you look at these particular two classes, for example, level 1, you get Blade plus 10%. Notice this one says Alice plus Stage, right? So based on my understanding, I do think that it carries over. Because if you look at these two Blade plus 10%, there's one says Blade plus 10%, and then there's a bracket Alice plus Stage. Alright, so I strongly believe this one will activate. Alright, the Blade plus 10% will activate only for her. Alright, if you use Alice in a stage that she's good at. For example, some stages require you to use Alice. If you go to the story, for example, like on her chapter, right? You can say play as Alice to boost specialty weapon skill effectiveness. Alright, so it literally says right here. So this is what it means. If I use Alice right here, I will be able to unlock that 10%. But the level 2 one, it only says Blade plus 10%. So it's safe to assume that this would be applied to all the other characters. Because if it's same with the first one, they would have put the bracket and Alice plus Stage. So that's what I take out from this. If you want to main certain class, I do think that it's much better to spread out your resources right now, your mastery points, because it's shared across everyone, and make them equally strong first before going all in, at least level 4. For me, my goal is like level 4, then maybe I want to focus on her because I want her to be my main, and then I'll get her to level 10. Okay, so let's talk about Limit Break. So Limit Break can be performed on a class as well. You need their specific Arcana. Now, how do you obtain Limit Break Arcanas? So there are multiple ways, but as of now, so far, I've seen a couple of different ones in the Medal Exchange shop. Alright, for example, one of these the Medal of Desire. Alright, so you can see Alice Cleric Arcana. So I can power up only the Alice Cleric with this particular Arcana, alright, to basically limit break that specific class. So this is something that you will do later on. So once limit broken, I believe you will basically increase their level cap. If I'm not mistaken, as opposed to 10, it will become 11. And then you can limit break every class twice up to level 12. So limit break are divided into 2 levels. So for example, this one you see Alice Breaker Arcana level 1. So once you consume this, you will need one more, which is a level 2 one. So as of now, I haven't seen any level 2 Arcanas being released, but maybe that's something that's saved up for future content. Okay, so that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and if you do, subscribe to the channel, give this video a like. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a nice day. Goodbye.